Hey everybody, this video brings us out to Malvern, Pennsylvania. And the reason why we are in Malvern, Pennsylvania today on this kind of sort of chilly morning, it's only maybe like 60 degrees, even though it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Why it's so cold today, I have no idea. Maybe I should stand here, there we go. I'll stand in the rays of light coming through the trees. That makes it a little bit better, but there's actually a little bit of a breeze blowing, which is not helping things. Kind of wish I would have wore maybe a hoodie underneath the jacket. That may have made the weather today slightly more tolerable. But anyway, it's a little chilly today. But the reason why we're out here on this chilly day in Malvern, Pennsylvania, is to take a look at something pretty interesting that still stands right here in front of me. The remains of the 1857, says on the sign right there, 1857 Longwood Schoolhouse. An unfortunately segregated one-room schoolhouse for African American children. Pretty awesome that the township took it upon themselves to restore this, well, to restore the foundation and actually have this out here. As the sign says, Legacy of a Longwood School. The restored foundation seen here marks a site of Longwood School, a one-room schoolhouse built in 1857 for the children of a community of African American farmers and laborers who lived along the Conestoga Road near Bacton. It was first called Africa School. Wow. Yep. It was first called Africa School, but the name was changed to Longwood during the Civil War. Yeah, that was probably a smart move to have changed the name. In 1885, the school board adopted a grade system, and in 1889, there was a total of 24 pupils ages 6 to 13. Wow. During this time, public sentiment against segregated schools was growing. The school was closed in 1901 and pupils moved to Hopewell School on Green Lane Road. The property was sold in 1902 and the vacant building was never used again. In 2003, owner Catherine M. Wallace gave this site to Charlestown Township to be preserved as a historical site. And here it stands today. The remains, the foundation of the old schoolhouse. There's what it looked like in 1946. Not much remaining, more remaining, but not a whole heck of a lot remaining. And there's what it looked like in 1967. A lot changed in that short amount of time. So my assumption is probably by 2003, this was an even worse condition. So who knows what still remained in 2003, but the township took what they could and saved it and preserved it. And they kept it out here for us to come out and check out. They put this concrete barrier on the top of the wall to prevent any further weathering, deterioration. That's pretty awesome. So again, not exactly a happy piece of history, the fact that a segregated school needed to exist, because let's face it, white children, black children, they should have been getting the same exact education. It always should have been that way, but sadly, it wasn't always that way. But the good news is, at least the African American children from the community were getting an education, because there was a time when that wasn't even a thing that would have been possible. So at least at one point, the African American children in the community from the area were getting an education. Maybe not as good of an education as the white children, probably in a much fancier, better school, but at least an education nevertheless. And it's pretty awesome. You can actually come inside here and walk around and get a feel for just how tiny this schoolhouse was. It was not very big. I can't imagine all those children and the teacher crammed inside here, all those different age groups all together, trying to learn together. Pretty crazy. I mean, just standing in here, you really do get a feel for how tiny this schoolhouse was. I mean, they would have had to have an area for the teacher. Probably the teacher's desk was maybe over there somewhere. All the children's desks were here. There's probably a wooden or coal stove to heat the schoolhouse. Probably the very drafty, cold schoolhouse during the winter. We're in Pennsylvania. It gets very, very cold here in Pennsylvania during the winter. So probably back here somewhere or back there. I don't know. There's like maybe some black soot here. I don't know what that is. So who knows? Maybe back here is where the old stove used to be. I can't imagine that many children of so many different age levels all together trying to learn in this tiny little school. But it's really awesome the township actually allows you to come in here and walk around so you can get a feel of just how tiny a schoolhouse like this was. A lot of places I go, they have these things roped off and chained off. You can't come in to a historical site like this, but here you actually come up and you touch the 1800s stone walls. And like I said, you can get a feel for just how tiny of a schoolhouse this was. I had heard so many stories of back in the day, the older children having to actually help the teacher teach the younger children, because again, the teacher was trying to teach so many different children of so many different age levels that the older children had to help out and teach the younger children their ABCs and how to read and write and whatnot. Pretty crazy. 24 pupils of ages 6 to 13 all together, crammed inside this small little schoolhouse, all trying to get their education. Like I said, at least they were getting an education, and hopefully these children went on to bigger and brighter things. I'm sure many of them were still hired help and probably still worked on a farm when they left here, but hopefully, who knows, maybe some of these children went on to bigger and better things. Maybe some became lawyers. Maybe some became doctors. Who knows what a school like this would have done to help out those children who, without the education, may have had a much rougher life, but because they actually had their education, maybe they did go on to bigger and brighter things. And maybe they worked their way off the farm and they became prominent members of society, and like I said, went on to bigger and better things. So we're here in Malvern, Pennsylvania, on the corner of Valley Hill Road and Bodine Road, or Bodine Road. You guys can leave your comments down below on how exactly you pronounce that. But if you guys have ever been out here to the schoolhouse here in Malvern, Pennsylvania, leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you guys if you've been out here to actually visit this. I had no idea this even existed. I had never been out here before. But yesterday, when we were at the cemetery, the old Charlestown Cemetery, I went onto their website. I went onto the Charlestown Township website to get some information about the old cemetery, and they had all kinds of different areas you could visit. So we're definitely going to be hitting up some more of those areas, but this was one of them, and I thought, yes, we have to get out here. We have to see this, because again, this is a very interesting piece of history located on a road where a lot of trucks drive by. I don't know what's going on down the road, but all these trucks with these huge loads, these oversized loads are coming by. But we had to come out here. We had to check this out because, again, it is an interesting piece of history, and it's something that I had no idea even existed up until yesterday when doing research on the cemetery. I stumbled upon this, the fact that this existed. I knew I had to get out here and to take a look at this and to show this off to you guys, because this is very, very interesting. So like I said, if you've been out here, leave your comments down below. I want to get out here. I want to check this out. I want to see this, again, sad but interesting piece of history, to see what still remains. And again, very awesome of the township to preserve this. The fact that the owners of this property didn't tear this down. They didn't put a house here or something else here. They took it upon themselves to donate the property to the township. And then the fact that the township took it upon themselves to actually preserve this and turn it into a historical site you can come out and visit. You can park right here. There's an area here for like 2, 3, 4 cars. Come out here, you can park here, and you can check this out. Very awesome of the township to actually do that. Because again, it is a piece of history that should be preserved. A very important piece of African-American history here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. But all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Like I said, just wanted to bring you out here. Wanted to show this to you. If you guys have ever actually been out here, if you've taken a look at the remains of the Longwood schoolhouse, or what once was called the Africa School, yeah, probably a good idea to have changed that name. Yikes. What were they thinking? Actually, you know what? I don't want to know what they were thinking back then when they named it that. But anyway, if you guys have actually been out here, leave your comments down below. Let me hear about your adventures out here checking out the Longwood Schoolhouse, or the remains of the Longwood Schoolhouse here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. And if you haven't been out here, get out here, check this out, read up about it, learn some history, and then come over here and actually stand inside the remains and get a feel for just how tiny of a schoolhouse this was. This is pretty crazy. It's pretty tiny. But again, awesome piece of African-American history still standing here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. All right, guys, like I said, I'm gonna let you go. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for links to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro Rest Stop t-shirts. Proceeds both from Spreadshirt and from Patreon do help supporting the show and keeping the show going and bringing us out to interesting places like this. So I really do appreciate the help and support. It does put gas into Vanabelle, so we can come out to interesting places like this. And I can show this kind of stuff off to you guys. Sorry guys, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you do hit that subscribe button or you are subscribed, then I will see you from wherever we go next. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. All right, thanks for watching guys. Have a good one. Bye.